The introduction of mandatory voter ID in the UK's local elections, which Sadiq Khan railed against, is likely to have contributed to a huge dent in his margin of victory. Well, that's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? Despite recently commanding a huge lead over his nearest Conservative Party rival, could Sadiq Khan actually be turfed out as Mayor of London? Probably not, but it's going to be a lot closer than people anticipated just a week ago. A Tory activist for Susan Hall claims the Tories are utterly convinced she has won the London mayoral election due to a low turnout. Yeah, a bit over-optimistic. This is London we're talking about. And just a few days ago, he had a 22-point lead over her. But the rumours of a low turnout continue to circulate amid concerns that the city's huge Muslim population may have stayed home. In one of the final polls before the vote, Hall cut Khan's advantage over her to just 10 points. But she's hampered by the absolute trouncing her party has received across the country in local elections. The new mandate that voters have to provide ID before casting their ballot is likely to have had a significant impact. Some of them don't want to produce their ID, some of them will have forgot to bring it to the polling station, and some of them don't have an ID at all. Khan bizarrely raged against this new requirement, claiming the Tory government was trying to rig the vote, requiring people to prove they are who they say they are before allowing them to vote. In what world is that vote rigging? Unless you're actually depending on people voting for you who shouldn't be voting in the first place. The delay on counting the vote, which was concluded last night, is also being caused by the fact that the Greater London Authority abandoned electronic voting machines and everything is being hand counted. Mr. Diversity is our greatest strength has overseen the continued deterioration of law and order in London, with knife crime offences soaring 20% last year, as well as the massive populist backlash against his onerous ULEZ scheme. But with nearly half of London's social housing now occupied by migrants, Khan has established a wide spectrum voter base by pandering to a hugely dependent welfare class, as well as metropolitan elitists who are quite content to live in what now is basically a giant international airport, while they continue to support massive numbers of migrants flooding into the city, because they depend on them as a giant service class to deliver their expensive takeaways and babysit their children. The violent crime-ridden, low-trust, balkanised hellscape of a society that creates, well, it doesn't really bother them from atop their plush penthouse apartments. The result is expected to be announced tomorrow evening, and while there are still millions of white leftists in London who will slavishly vote for the Labour candidate, whoever they are and whatever they do, Khan's far slimmer than anticipated margin of victory, which could end up being 7 or 8 points, is likely to represent at least somewhat of a repudiation of his policies. If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos, and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.